Welcome, everybody, to a new episode of our Stellar Global Space Series. My name is Olvis, and today, together with Raph and Spintax, have an exciting episode for you. But before moving forward, I would like to express a really warm, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are here with us. So, so we are really excited to have a really great team here today. Um, we will be talking with a great team composed by Griffin, which is Phoenix marketing director. We also have Milan, which is the co-founder and front-end lead. We also have Jakub as well from Fun Phoenix, the backend lead. And by the way, so feel free to ask your questions on the comment section, which you will find on the right side of the space screen, but also on the comment section of YouTube. We will be happy to answer them. And without further ado, today we are really excited to introduce to you the Phoenix team. Hi guys. How are you doing?
Well, doing great. Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much for being here. Could you please, for the ones that are not familiarized, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your team?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be happy to get started. So, with that wonderful intro there, I'm the marketing director here at Phoenix. My background was psychology to begin with. So I was actually in like a public school system working with 9 different schools with kids with mental disabilities, autism. Over COVID, I actually really loved the crypto space. I actually read the Bitcoin standard and really fell in love. I got my start on Cosmos with Osmosis and then met these two awesome people at Consensus a couple of years later. So I've been with them ever since. Jakub himself is a co-founder and back-end lead. He's been in the crypto space for over 3 years now, worked on a lot of different projects, built a lot of protocols such as a DEX, liquid staking, and lending and borrowing. So he's bringing all of that really great experience to the team. And Milan's the other co-founder as well. He's been in the crypto space for at least 3 years as well. They both actually met at a company called Confio and Cosmos, which was kind of really responsible for Cosmwasm. So that's just a little bit on our background. Maybe if they wanted to elaborate a bit more.
That was us, yes.
Okay, perfect.
Great. Yes, exactly. We already have some questions that we gathered previously. We would like to ask you something specific regarding Phoenix DeFi Hub. What inspired the creation of the platform? How does it plan to revolutionize the DeFi space within the Stellar ecosystem?
Absolutely. I mean, I think each of our answers would be different, but really we just saw an absolutely unique opportunity with Sorbonne launching. Like, I don't think in the history of the blockchain space, there's ever been such a well-established and well-funded chain. I mean, since 2014, that's just launching smart contracts for the first time. So we definitely wanted to join that because, I mean, Stellar itself, with its very, very low transaction speeds, very low fees and very high transaction fees mixed with like their really strong system of fiat on-ramping and off-ramping, it just seemed like a powerful place to start. And in addition to that, we want to give a big shout out to the Stellar Community Fund. We've gotten 3 grants from them to build out our DEX and then our next protocol, which we'll talk about later. But I mean, just without their support early on, as a startup, it's very, very hard to have like a big team. So, I mean, with them, we were able to have myself, Jakub, Milan, and then 2 other backend developers, as well as some advisors. So it really just helped us get started. And I think the last part of that question, how we plan to revolutionize this DeFi space. I mean, before smart contracts, I would say true DeFi wasn't really a big part of Stellar. I mean, they had some applications, but smart contracts just kind of take that to completely the next level. So what we're really going to be doing is looking at these successful DeFi protocols that you see on other chains, such as Solana, Ethereum, Cosmos, and bringing them over to Stellar all within one hub that users can use.
So to expand a little bit on this answer, so exactly we have a very clear idea to establish a one-stop shop that everyone can use it, because we want to make it so easy. We want to combine speed and security of Stellar network with our experience, and just allow users to have the best possible DeFi experience.
Well, we're really happy to have you. It's actually been really cool to use the first kind of applications on Sorbonne. So, and as everyone, you guys are probably one of the first to launch. So you're the first one that everyone's kind of testing, like if how they work on Sorbonne. Like wallet signing isn't necessarily straightforward yet. Everyone's kind of troubleshooting, and we're all kind of discovering what it's like to use Sorbonne for the first time. The whole community is experiencing it, and a lot of us the first time was using Phoenix DEX. So,
and that's
cool
great, and it's also great to see all the feedback on our Discord. We are really working, like close with the community right now. Even if the community is very small at this point, but it's very, very, like exciting to see everybody wants to help, and we are trying to get those fixes done as soon as possible.
You guys have been extremely responsive, which has been nice too. It's been nice having you guys in the community.
It is nice indeed. I would totally agree with that. Amazing. Thank you very much. So moving forward, just to ask another question that we have prepared. Could you please explain how Phoenix leverages Sorbonne's capabilities to enhance user experience and security?
Yeah, I'll definitely let our devs jump in here, but I just want to say that Phoenix is built on Sorbonne. So without Sorbonne smart contracts, there wouldn't be a Phoenix.
Yeah, so from my perspective as smart contract developer, basically the way Sorbonne platform is designed and forces users to basically understand the way transactions are authenticated. And if everyone understands how the most important system works, the less possible is to find any bugs even in other applications, right? Sorbonne makes it incredibly easy for developers to think about security. Except beside that, Sorbonne created a program in which they incentivized teams that are about to launch on Sorbonne by combining them with smart contract auditing companies. And Sorbonne, SCF, were providing credits to get audited. So SCF and everyone involved makes everything possible to make Sorbonne and everything that is running on it as safe and secure as possible.
Jakob, how was your experience applying for the auditing process? Did they kind of just push you automatically towards it, or did you something that you guys had to apply for? And when you're working with the auditing firm, how was that?
The whole process was incredibly easy from my perspective, simply because people that we are in contact with from SCF and others are very helpful. So any questions that happened from our side were answered incredibly fast. The whole process was basically one form in which you had to explain the importance of your project, the scope, the size, and the estimation of difficulty, and then answer for our request was ready, I think, within a week. So awesome. From my experience, this is the most efficient auditing process I've ever encountered, truly.
Yeah, and at this point, I would like to do a shout out to Jorning, which is like the SDF guy that is helping us from the beginning on, very hand-holding. And like as Jakob mentioned, we get answers within like a few hours, mostly depending on the time zone, obviously, but that's very awesome. And we never experienced something like that in another ecosystem.
Did you guys have to use a specific auditor?
We were basically, there was a pool of auditors, and we were being paired with one of the authorized companies. And that was Veradice, by the way, and also a great shout out to them. They were very thorough and very careful, and that also shows great depth of knowledge about intricacies of Sorbonne.
Yeah, that was kind of the scare, is that as we have auditors who are from outside the space, they might not know anything about how Sorbonne works, especially being like a Rust WASM oriented platform. So it's nice to see the auditors know what they're talking about and have done the research.
Yes, truly. And they knew. I was even surprised how well built their team was, because they had specialized person in each segment. So incredibly efficient, and again, just 100% positive experience.
That's great.
That's amazing. Awesome. I would like to ask, so what are the main features of Phoenix that set it apart from other DeFi platforms?
Yeah, I think the important thing is to look at the vision, because we just launched our decentralized exchange, but really what we're looking to make this is that one-stop DeFi shop that even your grandma can use. So, something we're actually beginning to work on right now is a help center. So the first time you go into the Phoenix app, you'll get that 8-step written guide. But beyond that, we really want to have a help center that has videos for how to do each thing, to really show users how to use every single feature that we're going to be launching, starting with the DEX, and then some improvements we have planned for that, as well as some future protocols. So, I mean, really,
I noticed,
oh yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, I apologize. I was going to say, I noticed that we've had some YouTubers that have started to generate content for Phoenix as well on how to use it, which has been really nice. I think it's 5X Crypto that's been posting. I think there's 2 different tutorials that are already up.
Yeah, and that was really great to see. Yeah, I know him as a Sunny 007 on Discord. It was really, really great to see that within the first couple days. So yeah, big shout out to him.
Amazing.
Yeah. I mean, really, the thing I would say that sets it apart, though, is from our experience in other ecosystems, a lot of protocols launch their own token and then a single protocol, and users have to end up switching between, let's say, 8 different protocols, maybe some different wallets there, in order to engage with DeFi. So we really want all of this in one spot, whether it's building it out ourselves or partnering with others in the ecosystem and incorporating it into the app. We really want this to be anyone who wants to engage in the Stellar ecosystem can come to Phoenix and get really anything that they need and trade any tokenized asset.
Amazing. So how does Phoenix ensure liquidity, and what incentive are there for users to provide it?
Yeah, absolutely. So every protocol that we launch will have its own methodology, but maybe to elaborate a bit on what we have right now. So we are incentivizing liquidity pools with the FO token, as well as having an airdrop. So the way it's going to work for the first 2 months is that users who deposit and stake liquidity will get the listed APR on the pools page, and that's paid out once a week on Tuesdays. And at the end of that 2 months, it will basically, all APR you got while you were staked for that 2-month period will be given to you as an airdrop, which is vesting for 6 months. So it's kind of doubling the APR that people get, while also minimizing some of the sell pressure that you could get right away while we're still establishing deep liquidity. And it's really been great to see. We started out with 10K of our own liquidity when we launched last Tuesday, and now we're approaching 200K. So it definitely seems to be working so far. We really appreciate everyone in the community who's jumped in. It's been really, really awesome.
That's an incredible jump. Yeah. And that's only with 3 pools right now. We have USDC, XLM, FO, and XLM, and then FO USDC.
Yes, soon we are starting with another one.
Yeah, and at this point, I think we can, if anyone out there listening right now with an, interesting project coming up, maybe your own token, something like that, feel free to DM us at any time. We are really, really, really happy to, list new tokens, work together, collaborate here and there. So feel free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely had that question for Griffin in Discord. I said, is there a process for whitelisting? And it's because it has to go through the team, correct?
Yes. At this point, we are still working on a standardized process. That's why I mentioned just DM us, and we will work something out together.
Awesome. I would like to ask, what are the future developments that you guys have planned? like how will they impact the Stellar, community and Phoenix users?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So kind of going back to what I said a moment ago, it's like our real goal is to have every tokenized asset on Stellar tradable on Phoenix, like within our marketplace. So right now we're really working hard on ongoing improvements to the marketplace. Like Milan mentioned earlier, just absolutely amazing feedback we've seen on Twitter and in our Discord. We really appreciate that, everybody. If you want to keep it going, anything you want to see. So it's really like bug fixes and improvements.
Right.
And additionally, we're also working already on a vision for version 2 of the DEX. So this will be improving what we already have by adding potentially a order book, concentrated liquidity, and multi-asset liquidity pools. So one thing we don't want people to think is like we're talking about doing all of these other protocols in the future. That doesn't mean that we're not going to continue to improve the ones that we already have out. So version 2 of the DEX is already in the works. Something else we're looking at, hopefully within the next few weeks, very soon here, is implementing bridges as well to other ecosystems. In particular, we're looking at Allbridge, Pendulum, and Axelar. We actually have experience working with Axelar. They've been in Cosmos for a long time. They're a really great bridge, and we have some contacts there. So yeah, I think connecting to these other ecosystems is going to be essential, because now that Stellar has smart contracts and true DeFi, it's really going to be important to attract new users to the ecosystem. So we're really hoping to do a joint marketing campaign with Stellar to do that. So yeah,
It's
we're
cool
actually
hearing about.
Yeah.
It's cool to hear about different partnerships that you guys are doing, because it seems like you guys have to talk to Pendulum and Allbridge. Axelar is interesting because we haven't seen anything yet from them, at least not live. So excited to see that integrated with your platform. The Allbridge product is pretty sweet, though. You can take your ETH, and then before they had anchored assets, they would create their own tokenized version of like ETH, or and you would have to trade it on the SDEX and then convert it. Seems like we're just going to have like faster conversion, faster participation directly with pools on Stellar. So glad to see you guys are integrating bridges directly.
Yeah, so basically me and the front team are already working on implementing bridges, but as for all of our UI elements, we really want to make it as easy as possible. And I don't want the user to, like, oh, what bridge should I use? There are like 3 different buttons that I can press, whatever. That should all be, like smoothed out, finding the best price for users and all that stuff. So this will take some time, but very, very soon.
Awesome. Could you please, guys, tell us a little bit regarding your plans for the announced NFT Marketplace?
Yeah, absolutely. So that I was talking about version 2. So the next thing we actually are going to be launching is an NFT Marketplace. So users within Stellar can create, list, and auction NFTs. So, I mean, I think this is really something that's going to be important. There's still a huge NFT space in blockchain tech. So it's going to be really great for attracting users. But also looking more towards the long term. Stellar's mission is bringing blockchain to the real world. And while digital art is an important part of NFTs, what we're really looking at as well for the future is more real world applications. So this could be things such as digital identity, a ticket system, a voting system. So I think these things are going to be really important, especially with Stellar's emphasis on Africa and Central and South America, who maybe don't have that infrastructure that we are kind of privileged to have in the West. So being able to establish this sort of system is also going to create, that DeFi hub that those users can use. So we don't just want this to be, people from the West. We want to be able to create things that benefit Stellar's mission itself.
Sounds great. How does Phoenix DeFi Hub contribute to the overall growth and scalability of the Stellar network?
Yeah, I mean, one thing we were really proud to see is like on the day of launch, we made more than 60% of all the Sorbonne transactions, and Sorbonne broke its actual daily record of transactions the day we launched. So it was just really, really great to be part of that. And
Amazing.
yeah, I mean, it just goes back to our mission as well. Like we're creating that hub that literally every type of user can use. Like we want something for everybody. So that's going to help Phoenix and Stellar scale.
Exactly, and just to emphasize on that statistic, that those 60% of more transactions on network, that clearly shows that users want those kinds of applications, that this is in demand. And if we continue to do a good job, deliver well done and polished features, we can accelerate Sorbonne as a platform and make it just a more attractive place for both builders and users.
I'd love to see the stats of wallets and if it was their first Sorbonne transaction. It'd be kind of cool. I'm almost thinking that 99%.
If you want to do it, you can just go on the history page and click the last icon there to get on the Explorer and do some, detective work.
Right. Oh, cool. So I have another question. Like, what measures are currently in place to educate and support new users venturing into DeFi through Phoenix?
Absolutely. So the first time you come into the Phoenix app, there's actually a tour that you can take, which takes you through the dashboard, the swap page, pools, and trade history. So users can see that right away. And if you've maybe loaded into the app and didn't go through that, all you have to do is clear your local cache and it should pop up again. Well, yeah, so we have that system, and we're also, I kind of mentioned it before, we're creating that help center where there's going to be videos, articles, just a lot more details on how users can participate in the Phoenix ecosystem. So that'll hopefully help the people who need questions. And as well, we're always there on Discord and Twitter to answer any issues that users are having.
That's great. Awesome. So you already mentioned a little bit regarding your experiences with going live on Sorbonne, but perhaps you could give us a little more details regarding any success stories or users that have been using the platform during this few days of going live. Is there something particular that you can mention in this regard?
Yeah, I mean, in addition to kind of breaking the Sorbonne transaction record, really getting our TVL from 10K to nearly 200, it's just been really great to see the demand that people seem to have for the FO token. So it's just been a success all around. It's just onboarding tons of users. I want to say, haven't actually looked at it in a second. So yeah, total trades right now we're at 1,153 with over 93 traders. So within the first week, we're really, really happy to see that.
That's great,
amazing.
Guys.
Congrats.
Thank you. It's been a great run.
Amazing. So how does Phoenix plan to stay competitive and relevant in the rapidly evolving DeFi landscape?
Yeah, so Phoenix is going to continue to carefully identify improvements and also future protocols that we want to implement. So it's really like examining other ecosystems, what's been around for a while, what's working really well, and then building that on Stellar, as well as addressing community feedback. I mean, if we see that there's things that users want, even if it wasn't in our original roadmap, we're definitely going to try to get that out as soon as possible. And I guess one big piece to mention there is right now we don't have that mobile support, but we are working on Wallet Connect. So mobile is going to be working very, very soon on Phoenix.
It's great. I think it's desperately needed. There's a lot of people that use majority of the stuff on their phone. So
yeah, and there we get again back to the wallet thematic. It's just very early, and I'm sure in the next month, things will sort out.
Yes, and we definitely understand that a lot of people wanted that mobile support, especially because, like we were saying, where Stellar's mission is happening, and a lot of those countries, they do just have a mobile phone, and they get the mobile phone well before the laptop. So we will definitely be implementing that.
Awesome. To the next session, so maybe Raph, can you take over there?
Yeah, so I think we're going to jump into the demo here at the start of the show. Griffin, I'm going to turn on your screen here, and then this is the exciting bit here.
That's great. So when you first come into Phoenix, I already clicked past it, but you'll see that kind of pop up right there that will take you through the tour. But on the dashboard of app.phoenix-hub.io, you have your dashboard. So you get to see the top gainer, top loser for the day. Since we only have 3 assets, it's not going to be as interesting as in the future when we have, dozens of them. But you'll also see the XLM and the faux price up at the top. If you scroll down a little bit, you're going to be able to see all the assets that you have. So you can see that I have 10 XLM on this wallet. And you can also, search through it. You can filter it from highest balance, lowest balance, and then look at your non-stable coins once we have a lot of those added on there. In addition, we really want to, with the mission of the one-stop shop, we don't want people to have to use a centralized exchange. So we're really incorporating the stellar anchors that have been established. So right now we have Kato implemented. So if you want to buy cryptocurrency directly with your local fiat currency, all you need to do is KYC with Kato, and you can buy it and directly onboard it to the Phoenix app. So there's no need to go to a centralized exchange, which, as we've learned with, perhaps FTX and a few others, may not be the best thing to hold assets in. So that's our dashboard.
Seems like Kato actually supports MasterCard and bank transfers. Do you know what their fee take is for supplying? Like, is it pretty reasonable? I know, like, before when we used MoonPay, and there was like, if you were buying through, like if you had to go on from somewhere else, the fees were kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, Milan or Jakub, do you know the exact fee that they take there?
I think that really, it depends on what currency you want to buy with, what payment method you want to use and all that. But in general, I was using it personally and I was happy with the fees, but, as Griffin mentioned, we want to add more later as well, more options. I think everybody has to just check it out on his own.
It's cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's jump right in with the swap page. We wanted to make this really intuitive for users with having a nice UI, but that is also familiar with other people who have used DeFi. So at the top, you're going to see what you're trading, and then at the bottom, what you're trading to. You can kind of hit the drop-down arrow here and change what asset you want to do. You'll be able to search for it or search for their token address. So right now, since we just have 3, we're just going to, there's not too much to search through, but more will be added. You can also switch those back and forth, so you don't have to go through and change each one if you just wanted to switch it. And at the top right now, we have it locked at 1% slippage just because we're working on adding more liquidity to the pool. We don't want users to accidentally just do a trade with really high slippage. But here in the future, you'll be able to switch it from 1% to 3% to 5%, or you can do a custom amount. Then you just do that by hitting that little gear up there. Yeah.
Could you put a sample amount there for a sec?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In your XLM?
Mm-hmm.
I just had a question about, you guys changed it. It was the network fee before, but now it's a protocol fee. Could you guys go over and explain kind of the protocol fee?
Sure. So each pool right now has a set fee percentage of 1%. And that's basically the protocol fee. Network fee was kind of, misworded here because it's actually not the fees you pay on the transaction itself. So it's what you get. It's what you put in minus what you get. That's the protocol fee here.
And then how did you guys choose the 1% compared? I know that comparatively the AMMs on the classic side is 0.3, I think. So why 1%?
I mean, there are basically multiple reasons at this point. So first of all is that we want to use the fees to buy back FO and use them as incentives to further incentivize our liquidity providers. This way, we create a higher buy pressure for FO, but also incentivize the people more that actually provide the liquidity that's traded with. And the second reason is that, for those 0.3% fees, you basically need much, much more volume than we can get in the first few weeks or months. I'm not saying that this is forever, but at this point, it made the most sense to us. And it's at the end of the day, it's still 1%. At some centralized exchanges, you pay much more.
So you're saying that in the future, if we add other pools, it's possible that protocol fee changes?
Especially when the volume is increasing.
Yes, definitely. Fees, first and foremost, fees are set not by the whole protocol, per pool, so each pool can have a separate fees. That's no issue. And yes, we decided with slightly higher fees at the beginning because as Milan mentioned, with such a low volume, we are basically trying to repurpose as much of that as possible to get a better start. And we are definitely going to be lowering those fees. We have some ideas for some programs. So stay tuned. And that situation definitely isn't for forever.
And then the route, I see it says XLM to FO. You talked about in V2 possibly having centralized liquidity. So the route option in the future might be like going through different pools, or like how do you see in the future being able to leverage liquidity from different places?
First and foremost, for example, the most important technical feature that I'm focusing on later is concentrated liquidity, which allows to use the low depth liquidity pools in a more efficient way. We want to combine that with efficient routing that will allow users to get the best possible trade. We are also considering creating various types of pools depending on the possible movement with, for example, really low fees, but also more concentrated liquidity. We have a lot of issues regarding that. So ideas.
Yeah, I think that right now, if the 1% swap limit, at least for now, it's like incredibly difficult to arb between pools. So if there is a bigger variation in price, then it takes many more transactions to get another pool to show the right amount.
That's the current state of things. Yes, we basically wanted to make sure that we wanted to limit the possible attack vector by just someone who could try to play against us, because with certain limits of liquidity, it's in theory possible to disrupt such projects. So we are taking just some precautions. Those are baby steps. First week, first days, soon first week. We're gonna be taking off some security measures with time. Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah, just while it may not be ideal in the very beginning, that really is something that the team is very experienced building another ecosystem. So we've seen things that have happened to other projects that they've launched. So that's why we're really trying to do a lot of these security measures in the beginning.
Completely reasonable. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So continuing on here. So what you need to do in order to see, so like, for example, if I open up the Freighter wallet, which I've connected here, you can't see any other asset except for XLM. So the big thing users are going to need to do when they first go in is add the trust line for all other tokens. So for example, if you click that add trust line, the transaction will pop up, you sign it, which will cost, I believe, around like half an XLM 0.5. And now that it's added and you open it up, you'll be able to see the FO token up there, which now has our logo, which we didn't have on day one. So that's really cool to see. So now you'll be able to see it in your wallet. So then when you make a swap, you just put in your amount. It'll tell you what you're getting here and soon the dollar value there. Then when you swap, you just review the transaction and approve and sign. Yeah, you can see we've now successfully swapped 1 XLM for a bit of FO, which now, since you added the trust line, you'll be able to see within your wallet itself.
It's pretty slick.
Exactly. So once you're done trading, you just go on over to the pools page. And earlier, this is what we were mentioning. So you can see the APR that you'll be getting paid out every week, plus the airdrop, the vesting airdrop that you'll be getting at the end of that 2-month period, which will be July 8th, if I remember correctly. So you'll be able to see exactly what you're getting there, in addition to what the pool pairs are and the total value locked in each pool. Soon there's going to be the My Pools page, which will give you more details on the pools that you're in. You'll be able to sort from like TVL or APR as well. So there's going to be a lot of really cool features there, and a search. It's like right now you don't really need maybe a search or shorting, but let's say when there's 50 to 100 pools on here, you're definitely going to want a way to filter and sort through them. So since we did XLM to faux, let's go ahead and click details and open up that one. So here you'll be able to see the TVL, your share, the LP tokens that you have, and the swap fee. And if you look down here, you'll be able to add or remove liquidity from the pool. So let's just go ahead and let's just do like 0.05 faux. So yeah, it'll automatically fill in the other section to keep it at a 50-50 percentage there. So when you add liquidity, you just got to sign that awesome transaction again. One important thing we wanted to notice, we saw that some people were depositing liquidity, but in order to be eligible for APR in the airdrop, you actually need to stake it. So once you've successfully added liquidity to the pool, then you come over here and go to the liquidity mining. So you need to actually bond those LP tokens that you were given. So you can see how many LP tokens you have there, which is a representation of the assets that you deposited. So let's just go with 75%, or you could also just type it in up there. So now that we stake it, anyway, let's see here. All right. Well, I guess we're getting a little issue going on here. Let's see if we can get another pool to work. Oh, yes. All right. We got to add USDC trust line. All right. Let's do a little swap. All right. All right. Now we get to see some other pools.
It's nice that you're able to show how fast it is to add new pools and interact with them, though. That's good.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll continue to optimize that as well. So yeah, they're definitely looking into what was going on there, but it's been working. So let's just try to do, let's see, we got 0.3. So let's just go like 0.2 LP tokens there. Let's see if it's working. All right. So we may be having some issues that the team has to look into, but basically you just stake your liquidity right there. And then at the bottom, you'll actually see like your current share. Soon it'll be like the APR that's listed and other, the APR. Off to the side, there's going to be an unbond button. So how it's going to be working in the beginning with that 2-month initial APR, the rewards are paid out once a week. After that, there will be daily rewards that are paid out.
Griffin, let me just interrupt you. So that error, so we need to fix. Sorry, everyone. We need to fix displaying those errors. We have the minimal required amount of tokens that you need to bond. You can use to bond, which is 100. I presume that was configured. So with those 0.3, you won't be able. And this is yet another countermeasure against, for example, someone trying to DDoS our smart contracts with too small amounts. So if you would actually provide liquidity with slightly bigger amounts, we would have over 100 tokens. You would bond. Sorry, everyone, for but as I said, baby steps. We see all of that, and we are addressing those issues.
I've not had any issues with the bonding of the liquidity.
Yeah, as I said, you probably provided just slightly more. Griffin just used like one XLM. So.
Yes. Okay. That was my mistake. I set up a wallet just with 10 XLM for this showing here. So I should have added a bit more there.
Yeah, it's the only thing like that doesn't show right now is the total rewards, right? Like that you claim, but that's, you said every Tuesday. that we can claim them?
Yes. Every Tuesday you'll be able to claim them, and that's just for the first 2 months there. Then after that, every day there's going to be rewards that are delivered, and since there's no unbonding period, your APR will actually increase up to a max the longer that you're bonded. So that incentivizes people to stay into the pool, but we also want people to be able to access their liquidity at any point. So we don't want to have like a lockup period.
So even if I take out before like the Tuesday, let's say I have a lock period of 3 days, I'll still have rewards that I can claim.
Yeah, we'll be doing very frequent snapshots during this.
We are doing, and there is no unbonding period. You can withdraw anytime you want. The longer you stay, the bigger overall snapshot you will get. The part of airdrop, yes.
Sweet. Looking forward to Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, we may come back to this. I'm going to try to get a little XLM funded in here, but kind of the last feature we can look at here is the trade history. So here you'll be able to see statistics for the last 24 hours, the total traders, total trades, and the most traded asset. So you'll be able to see overall every single trade that happened. So you can see the size, the value that it was, and then the date it was done. And then you can also click here to get a link to the Explorer to show exactly where that transaction is. So that's a really cool piece. You could also switch over to personal, and you'll be able to see the two trades that we did just a few minutes ago. So we have XLM to FO and then XLM to USDC. So you'll be able to filter it through there. So we're going to be adding even more to this, especially when the NFT Marketplace launches. You'll be able to see like NFT trades as well as all and then personal. So really, we just wanted people to be able to come here and see everything that's being traded on Phoenix.
That's great.
Yeah, wow. Yes, we've had around 1,300 total volume today, which is great to see. Let me see. All right. Well, yeah, I wish I could have shown the pools thing, but yeah, we just didn't have the right wallet set up for that. But yeah, that's the demo of Phoenix, and even more is on the way.
Let's see if I can actually give me 1 second. Maybe I can show mine. 1 second here.
Oh, yeah.
Just want to make sure I'm on the right wallet here.
I also want to kind of double down on what I was honestly impressed with the speed in which you were navigating around. It's not something you frequently see in the space.
So actually, we are still working on improving that. We are right now trying out different indexer solutions because as of right now, every information is fetched from the blockchain, which takes some time. But very, very soon, we will replace all of those query calls with actual, like index databases. So this will be like way faster in the future.
That's really cool. I mean, I don't need to go super fast, but it is amazing to see that the capabilities there.
Yeah, it's also about scaling. When we add more pools, queries will get slower and all that stuff. So
that's a great point.
We have that on our monitor.
Sorry, I just need 10 more seconds here, and then I'm good to go.
I also wanted to congratulate you guys. It was only the day after launch day that you guys got your first scam lookalike token minted. So I honestly, I feel like that's such a huge endorsement for like success on your end.
Right.
Yeah, if you want to call it like that. But let's use this and make sure everybody who listens here isn't falling for it.
So I actually have been keeping an eye on the token, and it has basically no traffic since launch. They looks like they drummed up some like artificial traffic to make it look legit, somewhat legit. But I mean, they're not able to keep up with you guys on that front, and it doesn't look like anyone's actually used it. And I think the way that your platform's set up is done in such a way that it prevents people from ever falling into that trap, because you guys, I mean, you just go to your platform and you set up the trust line on your platform. So there's really no way for people to kind of step off that beaten path.
Exactly, and let me do yet another shout out to the way now both Stellar and Soroban architectures coexist with each other, because you can clearly tell, recognize token the way they are represented on Stellar. So, for example, denomination with address, public address of issuer, and this is a unique combination. So no one else can even name this token that way. And then we connect it with interface of contract of
Maybe
token contract.
I don't know who's sharing the screen right now, and if it would be too much to open Friday. But if you open Friday, for example, and click the photo, can you see our website underwards it? And that's a great way to. That's a great.
Oh no, this is safety feature.
If anybody's listening, you can actually verify if it's the correct website address domain.
Yeah, and in addition, as I mentioned, I got my start at Osmosis. It was actually Osmosis Support Labs, which is one of the really only organizations I would say that are really helping, like setting up a professional system to help users and prevent scams. Just as DeFi and protocols continue to develop on Stellar, you just have to be really careful. You're going to official websites, be really careful what you're signing. I would even... Like a lot of mistakes that some people make is they always try to Google the website and then they just click the first thing that pops up. Oftentimes these scammers can set up a fake website and then, basically bot it up to be top in the search history. So really when you go to an application you're using often, I would bookmark it rather than trying to search for it on an internet browser each time. And yeah, just be aware, do research, and don't fall for these scams because I was going to say they're coming, but I guess they're already here. So just make sure to protect yourself.
Well, and when I bring it up, it's not an indictment on you guys at all. This is just something that's in the Stellar ecosystem. Like USDC has a bunch of copies of it as well. I bring it up as this is kind of like a badge of success because you're big enough that that people want to come after you. But you guys have been doing everything absolutely the right way, security wise, in this regard.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we figured it was coming. We didn't expect it to maybe be that fast, but I mean, yeah. What do they say? Imitation is a serious form of flattery, even if it's scams.
I think you got to be careful through Lobster as people add assets through Lobster. But I think that because you have the signer, as long as people are adding the trust line through the website, they're probably pretty good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, okay, I thought I would go through since you already have some liquidity at this pool. So this is what we missed. After you stake it, that'll pop up at the bottom. So that APR is currently listed as 0 just because we're doing that first 2-month initial thing. But once you actually deposit, that will show you the current APR that you're getting. And that will increase up to a maximum depending on how long you're bonded. I think I saw a question earlier, like, no, we will not be requiring unbonding periods by default. Like we want users when they want their assets back to be able to immediately get them. And we kind of learned from previous projects, having an unbonding period can kind of scare people away. So we don't want that going on.
I mean, we wanted to leave questions for the end, but since you mentioned that one, so this is basically a strategy that we thought through basically against the bear market. So basically to attract users, we can no longer play into this lock up the user for the longest period possible way, but we need to actually attract users with meaningful features and just good product that user wants to leave their money and be incentivized for that. So instead of forcing you to stay with us, we enhance your rewards the longer you are. This is our approach.
Exactly. So that's where that APR and then locked period comes from. Like it'll tell you how many days you've been in the pool. So I can see you've been in here for 4 days, and then that will, after this initial period is over, reflect in the APR that you're getting specifically for that pool. You'll also be able to see your amount of tokens there.
These are all just fake amounts, by the way. I just changed them, so these don't reflect the actual values.
Yeah, no, of course.
So actually, if you click on that actions button, right, you will right now unstake everything at once. We got a lot of feedback about that, and I think next week, latest, we can deploy another version where an additional model will pop up with. Are you sure you want to unstake it? Be sure if you restake it, it will start at day 1 again, and you can also change the amount you want to unstake. So you can, for example, of the 10 for PXST, you can also just unstake 5. That's something that's very soon coming because we got a lot of feedback about that.
I also noticed we'll be changing that to it'll actually say unbond rather than the little gears there, just to make it extra clear.
That's good. I have another pool, and in my other pool, sorry, I don't want to change to my page or else my numbers will refresh. But you have, if you have two different deposits, you'll have the two different entries, one above each other, and then you'll have the different lock periods for the different amounts that you bonded, right? So you'll have like two days and then 5 days underneath, and then they're separate from each other.
Yes, because we want to track every stake separately, basically, as we mentioned, to incentivize users the longer they stay.
Yeah.
I had a question about the actions button as well. I had the same kind of user experience that you described, but I was curious, just maybe this is like a front end question. Do you guys plan to have other actions available under there, or is it always just going to be that's the unstake button?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say that maybe as a little tease there could potentially be something with future protocols. But if Milan wants to go into more details.
No, actually not. I mean, for now, it's just the unstake button. And, we are working close with a professional design agency, and they did it this way, and we never changed it, to be completely honest with you. But after getting all that feedback, we are working on improving that UX. But as Griffin mentioned already, we talked about what could we potentially do with the locked amounts, and future protocols could definitely leverage those funds.
Sweet.
Very cool. Griffin, I'll come to you if I ever have any questions about, what's in the pipeline.
Absolutely. I'll try to share what I can.
Spill the beans.
We got some really exciting stuff we can't talk about yet, but definitely coming soon.
I started sharing the send your questions in the chat page here. If you guys have any questions, just throw them in. We'll answer them as we go. Griffin, is there anything in the demo that's left by any chance? I think we covered everything, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I guess so. We're gonna jump into the next part here. Audience questions.
Yeah, I think I saw a question by Stellar Proud. He was asking, what utility will FO have besides a reward token?
Yeah, absolutely. So starting off with the DEX, it's how it's going to have to be utilized. But every single protocol, basically, FO is going to be the center utility token of that. So, for example, the NFT Marketplace FO is going to be that, at least in the beginning, the sole medium of exchange. So in order to create, list, auction NFTs, you're going to need to use the FO token for that. So it's really going to be the center of the entire ecosystem.
And this is just at the beginning because, as we mentioned already, we are going to provide more protocols in the future, and we want to build it as a coexisting, as an ecosystem of features. While user interacting with one can potentially be incentivized in the other, or maybe that can accelerate it. Maybe. Basically, we want to make a FO token the cornerstone of all of our future protocols. So basically, long story short, it's gonna look like the better work we are going to do, the better features we are going to deliver, the stronger our community is going to be, and the more people will just want to stick with us because we are on Stellar, and we provide the best DeFi experience here.
Sounds great. Thanks a lot for the answer. We have a question coming from Discord. Did you have to provide liquidity yourself for the DEX? If so, how do you manage to gather the required liquidity? Do you have like a liquidity to back up the FO token?
Yeah.
So during launch, we started, of course, with our own money. I personally put quite a lot to back up my work. And then rest of the liquidity is a lot of that liquidity is just a natural growth. Plus on top of that, we are recipient of the first wave of SCF grants towards liquidity.
Are those
So
already
we-
provided? The SCF liquidity program is already in the pools?
Yeah.
almost to the full. Yeah, Griffin.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so it started with our own money in there because we do believe in Phoenix, so we went ahead and put as much as we could to start. And I would say maybe 2 days later, we got 50,000 in XLM from the liquidity program, which we are mostly have deposited into the pools. We're saving the last quarter of that for the next pool that we're going to be creating in the next few days here.
I was expecting that to take a lot longer to go through with the SCF liquidity program. So that's pretty cool to see that right off the bat on launch, you guys have access to it.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, they've really been talking with us for weeks. It's been great. I mean, really the last piece they were waiting on, because we've been talking with them since, ETH Denver on that, was the audit. So once that audit was complete, they were good to go to send that. And yeah, again, just SCF, the liquidity program, it's made building on Stellar just a wonderful experience. And then, the remaining liquidity has come from users.
Olvis, any other questions? I see that Adam said, does XBull still work?
I didn't hear anything else. I mean, we have the bug report channel on Discord. So if you experience any bugs, feel free to note to mention them there. But so far, the feedback has been good that the wallets are working. If you exclude the mobile wallets. So again, if there's anything buggy, there's a little button on the left side of the screen. Click there, and we'll leads you to our Discord, and feel free to report everything you see there.
I just want to give a shout out to XBull. XBull is actually the probably only way right now, I believe, that you can actually sign with a ledger. So if you want to provide funds directly from your ledger, you can do so through XBull. You just have to make sure you have hash signing on. And then if you are hash signing, just be careful, because essentially you are signing something that you can't see.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. And if you would like to get more details regarding XBull, feel free to check out our previous event with Enrique, which is the founder. It was a great opportunity to learn about XBull. So yeah, go ahead if you haven't checked it out. Amazing. I think do we have all the questions asked as so far?
Yeah, I think that was good. I did have some alpha for you guys too. I have some snapshots of the new platform that I was provided by someone. Let me just share my screen, and then I'll show you guys.
Secret correspondence from the inside. Sam Steely sent this to us.
A leaker.
Give me 2 seconds here.
Circle hacked into the control room, and they got these secret messages.
Oh, this is the right screen. There we go. Yeah. Okay. So this looks like, from this leaker here, this looks like the NFT platform. So essentially, what NFT there is. I don't know if one of the team wants to walk through this. I'm just joking.
Yeah. So basically, what you see here are obviously not the final designs. It's all gray and black. Those are like mock-ups, right? So just for everybody to see what we're working on right now, we are working on those NFT user flows, and this is basically the first step of implementing the front end. Also, what the existing website has been looking like that for a while. So this is how we start. And yeah, I think it's just cool to show the people here what we're working on right now. This is basically the new dashboard that's coming up. Obviously with nicer colors and all that stuff, but and the texts are all placeholders, but we will upgrade the dashboard to see more stuff, for the users to see their own NFTs, just making it a bit more compact, show the users their own NFTs, search through them, search through, what's the highest value now, stuff like that. And yeah, so happy to share all that. I think the big thing
for me is that this really shows that the current version is an iteration. We are showing that it is a step before the more advanced product comes out.
Absolutely, yeah, I love that. It feels like you're building like a house for people to live in.
Exactly, and the foundation's done, but we have to do a lot more.
Yeah, I actually really love that kind of description of it.
Yeah, I really love seeing this sneak peek of the platform. So yeah, look forward to when it goes live. I have a quick question now that I see that the platform. Like how are your thoughts regarding interoperability with other Stellar NFT platforms?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely happy to collaborate and partner with any other NFT platforms. Absolutely, because I mean, it kind of goes along with the mission of any tokenized asset on Stellar can be tradable on Phoenix. So yeah,
part of that.
Oh,
Sorry, part of the SDF grant for that NFT platform is also the public good for like open sourced NFT contracts. So everybody or any other project, also future project, could just like either fork them or like just use them how they are, and integrate to our platform. So that's like the long-term goal, to be like not only for users that one stop, but also for the other developers.
Amazing. Thanks a lot for the answer.
I think that we've covered everything. First of all, I wanted to thank you guys all for coming onto our show here and showing us the demo and answering questions. Really appreciate it. Is there anything else that you kind of want to cover, or any shout outs you want to do?
I mean, I guess a big shout out I wanted to give was to actually Stellar Global itself. I mean, we've been in communication with you guys, and I think we actually did our first podcast with you guys about back in January, I want to say. So just thank you, you three, and Amir as well, for just the support you guys have given us since the beginning. So yeah, thank you for having us.
That's awesome.
Thank you for being with us.
Before we finalize here, I just wanted to quickly mention that a campaign that's happening right now, just of our own plug of our sorts, because of the mass flooding in Brazil. There is a donation campaign that people have started for helping those communities. We have a dev outfit it's called Cheesecake Labs in Brazil, and they've set something up. So if you guys, we'll post it on Twitter, but if you guys or anybody else has anything could help. So again, they have a QR code, and you can send them something. Anyways, we really appreciate your time. If there's anything else, this would be the moment. Otherwise, till next time.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah,
thank you very much for
Stellar
having
Global's socials and ours, obviously. Thanks,
yeah,
guys.
and there's a Discord for both. Yeah, thank you so much.
Absolutely, thank you guys.